Hey guys, it's Matt here, and today I'm bringing you another episode of Matt Rants. And before we go on with the Matt Rants and do the topic of the episode, I want to thank you all so much, either some of you guys that are new fans or some of you longtime fans who actually came in and watched my Matt Rants for E3. Did a lot of Matt Rants for those, just kept them coming. I was sick. I think I'm a little sick, but I'm getting a little bit better. But it was kind of painful to do, in a way. But so, just vocally, everything else was fine. But it was actually fine to watch them and grade them, just vocally, ooh. But anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you guys tuned into the channel, or just looking at the channel in general, seeing a little bit of a makeover, this is actually our Halloween in July event. We do it every July starting, I think it was last year, maybe the year before as well. We've been doing this for a while. So, this is our third annual, Halloween in July event. The Matt Rants will remain rather unchanged. Maybe I'll pick up a topic that we'll deal with either the death of the company, or maybe in this case, the death of someone's goodwill. Oh, and their reputation. Ooh. But seriously though, this is a topic, the Atari VCS topic, is one that I've wanted to pick up for a while, but I thought, let me wait until the Kickstarter's done. Now, I am recording this a little bit in advance. I'm not the Kickstarter, the Indiegogo, and that's very important, and you'll see why a little bit later, because I'm going to do a giant overview, because the thing is, I was going to wait until this Indiegogo was done, until this, crowdfunding campaign was done, and go, wow, they raised that much money. Little did I know that Atari would end up, or at least the company that now owns the Atari name, would consistently trip over themselves, literally, to the point where I'm like, guys, I don't even think you're running, you're just tripping over air, just standing there, you're tripping upstairs, essentially, in some ways, and it became really frustrating. So maybe some of you guys have been following the news, so I'm going to do some quick recaps, and then, and of course with each one, give my general feedback, because I could have done a bunch of videos on this, but I thought, okay, maybe that's the last quote-unquote scandal or mini scandal or something like that. And then just Atari, I think the only way I can describe it, and truly, and I mean this, the only way I can describe this, and I'm being polite here, they just bumblefucked their way through everything. So, we're going to talk about why. First off, I'm sure you guys might know the Atari VCS is a quote-unquote console that is set to come out, I believe, in fall 2019. We're going to take a quick look at the Kickstarter now. That'll also be linked in the description box below if you guys want to follow along with me. And I also have some screen caps, and I'll also link to other YouTubers as well, so you can get their feedback, because some of this I am getting that was reported through them. Others I'm getting reported through articles that I will also link down below as well. And my God, this is really, it's funny in a way, but also kind of sad. So first off, I want to mention, if anything does change in between this recording and the actual date that this is going to be put out, I will add in some new stuff here or there. Maybe there might be some awkward cuts. Most likely, though, nothing will change. Although, to be fair, with Atari, who knows, really? Jesus. Okay, so, but let me explain why. So looking at the Kickstarter right here, I'm sorry, again, the Indiegogo, that's very relevant. I'll explain why in a second. Look at the Indiegogo right here, the crowdfunding campaign. As of this recording, there are 2 days to go. They have raised, the original goal was 100,000, but it was flexible, which means that if they don't make 100,000, if they didn't make 100,000, then don't worry, they can still have the money anyway. But they, instead of making 100,000, they actually made 2,923% of 100,000, which I'm not good with percents. So looking right here, they made $2,923,048 raised by, from the looks of it, 11,093 backers. Now, why is this relevant? Why am I bringing this up? Well, to be frank, that's a rather large number. And I'll explain why I think, my personal theory as to why that number is so large, and some other YouTubers had some theories on it as well. Can't remember them off the top of my head, but there are some YouTubers that also had some interesting theories as well. Now, let's actually, however, let's scroll down here, and let's look at I want to talk about the goals, or the perks in this case, sorry. The perks, if you give 379 US dollars, you can get the Atari VCS Tribute all in. You could also get the Atari Classic joystick. So buying the joystick by itself, by the way, there's versions of these perks that don't actually have any controllers or joysticks involved. With the 379 version, there are that stuff. Like, that stuff is included. However, if you get one for 200 that doesn't have it included, which I'll get to a little bit later down below, you have to get the Atari Classic joystick separately for $29 US. And also remember, with shipping as well. Let's scroll in here. The Atari Modern controller, which just looks like an Xbox One modded controller, kind of like those shells from foreign websites that you can buy different shells and different combos. Not saying it's the worst thing in the world, just saying that it is $50 US separately. And 11 people have gotten that, by the way. So yeah, let's also make sure that I comment that for the Atari VCS Tribute All-In, 186 have claimed it. For the Atari Classic joystick, 31 have claimed it. For the Atari Modern controller, 11 have claimed it. For the Atari joystick and controller, because if you want both to try to, because there allegedly there will be games on this that will not just be standard old Atari games, so you're going to need to have something that isn't a standard older controller. So 97 have claimed both the joystick and controller for $60 US plus that shipping, and $219 US plus shipping is the Atari VCS Onyx. What's the difference? The color, of course. 7 have claimed that. For $299, the Atari VCS Tribute Edition, I believe that's the one with the wood. The reason why I say believe is because if I have my Wi-Fi on my phone while I'm talking to you guys about this, it will just constantly refresh and reset. But I had seen this beforehand, and the Tribute Edition should be the one with the wood grain. Ooh, spooky, shiny. I say spooky because it's like it's come back from the dead. Okay, so Atari VCS Tribute Edition, 10 claimed it for $300 US, and then the Atari VCS Onyx All-In, 80 have claimed that. And apparently this should be coming out, I mentioned fall 2019, actually July 2019 is when this should actually be coming out. We should be getting the Atari VCS in full, getting that completely, like all the bells and whistles, no questions asked. I don't know what games we'd be getting. Apparently neither do Atari, according to the Indiegogo, but still, the point is that apparently we would be getting all that by July 2019. So personally, that's the first thing that seems a little bit suspicious, because I kind of want to break this down a little bit for you guys before we get into some of the backlash that happened later that, again, is kind of funny, kind of sad. So the first thing I want to mention is this, even before getting into the Indiegogo situation, just the idea that making a brand new console, just sit back and think how many times a company has said, hey, I mean, look at the recent stuff with the PS4, PS5, right? There's talks of the PS5, potentially being starting to be made, and there's dev kits being sent out to different companies if they want to make games for the PS5. Right now, we're in 2018, later 2018, but still 2018 regardless. So July 2018, and this, if this console, PS5, I'm referring to here, if that comes out when I think it will, when many people have talked about what would be the best time for it to come out, that would be in 2021, most likely, maybe even 2020. And again, there's just talks of dev kits coming out. Sony could have been working on this for the last year or two already. Also, putting aside the fact that Sony, Nintendo, also, Microsoft as well, they've established their name recently rather than, the last 40 years. They've actually established their name recently, and they haven't been bought out by another company. That they're still, Sony is still owned by Sony, Microsoft, Xbox, Microsoft, and Nintendo. But the idea that what console, and again, this is being, that is thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the mic. That was thunder. All right, so I've clearly angered God with this Matt Rants. Anyway, so the point is that a console coming out that quickly is a little cray to me. And now, why cray, Matt? How do you quantify cray, or how do you describe cray? Well, the fact that with this console, it's not just supposed to be a Raspberry Pi that can play Atari games on it. It's supposed to be able to play new games on it. So they've discussed the idea that new games can be played on this, and even games that aren't that old, maybe a few years old, like Tempest 4000, which I'll get to that a little bit fucking later. But still, the point is that when it comes to these games that are supposed to be played, it's not just Atari 2600 games or older Atari games in general. If so, then I'd actually be like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's probably just in a Raspberry Pi in a nice little Atari case. But apparently that is not the case. So that's the first issue right there. Also, now we move on to why Indiegogo is an issue. Now, maybe you guys have heard this before. Maybe you guys have been following other, YouTubers like Slopes Game Room that kind of do these kick scammer episodes where they discuss not just Kickstarters, but they also throw in some Indiegogo sometimes as well. I believe he does. But anyway, the point is why is that relevant? So to me, right, I don't believe that Indiegogo is the devil. I don't believe that everything on Indiegogo is trash. However, a big but in this, huge one. The problem is, if this was a specific item that was like a something that wasn't hardware or software, something physical, something like a manga or something like an anime or something like that. So if I licensed the manga from overseas and I was bringing it over and I put it on Indiegogo, right? I don't believe, and if you guys know something different, please correct me in the comment section below, but you don't need a working prototype. Like, I don't need to send them like, this is a real book. This is, I truly own this. I don't believe you need to do that, both on Indiegogo and also on Kickstarter as well. However, when it comes to hardware, when it comes to something like a video game console or like a controller, something that needs to be made from the ground up that isn't just like a book being published or something like that, you need to send Kickstarter a working prototype to show that this is a real thing. It's kind of a way to try to be as scam proof as possible. Now, of course, people can still get scammed on Kickstarter. That's why kick scammers exist. Even stuff that has been funded, and came out, still to some people it's considered a scam because of how piss poor it may have been compared to its original vision or whatever it might be, whatever the original concept, and especially compared to maybe some of these companies, how much money they get. So why is this relevant here? Well, because Indiegogo is being used, not Kickstarter. So that means that Atari, or at least the company that currently owns the Atari name, let's remember that, by the way, this isn't the original Atari from 40 years ago. A different company came in, or a different person came in, bought the name up, and now it's completely different. It's not the same Atari we knew and loved, or at least some of you all did. I'm 25. I did not know them back in the day. But my point is that I was not even on this plane. But still, my point though is that it's Indiegogo, not Kickstarter. So you do not have to show any proof. You don't have to show any proof that this exists. None whatsoever. But your thought is, but why would they want to scam us? I'm not saying they're trying to scam you directly. I'm just saying that they don't have to show any proof. That is a huge issue when millions of dollars are on the line here. That's not hyperbole. Literally millions of dollars. Literally nearly $3 million. Nearly $3 million. Also, remember, the original asking goal was $100,000, so I have no idea how they even planned the $100,000 goal and to make this work with that goal in mind, but that's neither here nor there. So, Atari came out with this. There were some people that were skeptical. I was among them, but you know what? $3 million, almost $3 million have been raised. That must be a great thing, right? You would think. You would think that's where the troubles would end. But then Atari proceeded, by the way, they must be doing some great yoga, proceeded to put their foot squarely in their mouth. And again, due to amazing yoga skills a little bit later on in this Matt Rants, I'll tell you how they took their other foot and proceeded to place it in their ass. So, right now let's talk about the foot going in, right? So, they released some footage of one of their, people who works at the office. I don't have the exact name of the person who was in the video, but they were playing Tempest 4000 using the Atari VCS. Now, why was this a problem? Well, there's a back and forth here, and I think at this point in the Matt Rants, I have to be honest with you, I'm in the middle at this point. I actually am. I'm kind of in the middle because here's the thing, right? So, Atari owns the rights to Tempest, i.e. the ability to release Tempest. They are producing it, so they own the rights to the IP. However, there was a developer that was working on Tempest 4000, and he actually was working on all the different ports, and in his contract, none of the ports had the Atari VCS in mind. They were not written in legalese, not written in there at all. So he was a little bit confused because he was learning, while Atari is telling all of us, hey, we got Tempest 4000 running on here. If you guys look up Tempest 4000, you'll see that it's a pretty good looking game. It's only a few years old. So you're like, oh, wow, that's amazing. It's not just running, Asteroids or Pitfall or something like that. Even though I don't think Atari has the rights to certain of those games. I don't think they have the rights to Pitfall, but that's a different story entirely. The point is that when it comes to the game, it was like, oh, wow, they must be running it pretty well. That's great. But then when the developer came out, I don't think he had to be questioned. He just kind of came out and said, I didn't do that. I did not develop this game for the Atari VCS. Now, here's two things that could have happened. The first thing that could have happened is, clearly we could have had a situation where this developer, unless it's in the contract, doesn't have to work on this port, doesn't have to work on this port of the game. So it could have just been a miscommunication. Of course, you think, why would a company this big have that kind of miscommunication with, or at least seemingly this big, would have a miscommunication with a developer that they're working with that I assume they'd want to work with in the future. Heck, you probably want this developer and this development team to actually work on new games for the Atari VCS. Why would you screw up this badly? All right, God is furious. I really don't know if you guys heard that, but back to the point. I'll link to his comments down below. He was extremely confused because, again, he was not told that his game was going to be on the Atari VCS. Now, when you look at the video, there's nothing stating, because a lot of the times, if you guys watched E3, and I don't know which E3 you may have seen, like either EA's, Square Enix's, Nintendo's, Sony's, Microsoft's, Bethesda's, whomever, right? Every year, I don't know what year this officially started in, but I'm assuming, I believe it was due to a lawsuit. That might have, I think Did You Know Gaming may have actually taught me this. Due to a lawsuit, they had to start putting things like, hey, this was captured in the game engine, hey, this was edited down for this, because they don't want to get sued. No company wants to get sued or anything, any kind of legal trouble, coming their way, because they didn't. They kind of misguided you, right? They put you and they took you in the wrong direction, where you went, oh my god, I'm gonna spend all my money on this because I can't believe that this is playing on here. It would be like if I showed off a toaster that can play fucking the new Doom, the one that's on the Switch, right? And I have like a Switch toaster, and I was like, guys, I made it. I took the Switch, I put it in a toaster, and I really made it, guys, give me money. And even though that would probably be definitely a big issue because of Nintendo getting involved, but putting that aside, it would still be it would still be a legal issue if I faked the entire thing and said, no guys, that was just a proof of concept. Right, well, I have to fucking put that in the video, and they did not. So they didn't put that in the video. They didn't put that as a proof of concept. They had YouTubers, well, they didn't have them, but YouTubers generally called them out. YouTubers like RGT85, Smash JT, I believe Review Tech USA also jumped in, but a bunch of YouTubers. I mean, heck, I would have been one of them, but I sat back and I thought, you know what, let me wait till the Kickstarter, till the Indiegogo's over. Let me actually wait and see what's going to happen here. And it's still not the end of the damn story. Okay, so YouTubers called them out on it. They were like, hey guys, this footage is faked. Now, at first, I didn't want to say faked. At first, I was like, again, maybe they got a different development team to come in and work on that. That would be odd. But you know what? These contracts happen all the time. Sometimes companies act as if, the developers are just, on the side. Who cares about them? We're the ones in charge. We have the IP. So I was thinking maybe a little bit of that was going on. Nothing against the developers, but I thought maybe, or, I just thought that might be the case. However, they then corrected their Indiegogo. So when you were looking at the Indiegogo before with me, if you were, you may have seen that it said, "Hey, the Tempest footage. That's that's just a like I don't know if proof of concept was the exact term used, but it was the idea that it's not." It's how it would look. It's not an actual one-to-one. It's not exactly what's going on right now. It's how it would look when the Atari VCS is out, when this is funded. However, again, that wasn't in the video itself. That wasn't even in their Indiegogo. It was only put in after YouTubers called them out. And you know what? If that's where this ended, I'd go, well, that sucks. I guess Atari is lying. That doesn't mean that the VCS won't be able to play 2600 games when it comes out, whenever it frickin' comes out. But you know what? If that was the end of the story, I actually wouldn't be ripping into them this much with the whole yoga foot and ass thing. But you would think, well, it's all over. No, it's not. I don't know if I hear dramatic thunder. I really hope you guys can hear all that, because it kind of came off as a dun dun dun. So, let's read what Atari VCS. This is Atari's official fan page. So it's official. It's a fan is in there, which makes you think, oh, it's just a fan page. No, it's their official fan page. That means it's being run by Atari staff. So let's look at this right here. Someone commented with RGT85's video, and then Atari replied. And by the way, you can still find this. You can still find these comments. They haven't even freaking deleted them, which in a way makes you think, okay, I guess they're not trying to hide it. But at the same time, dear God, guys, you can see this these bad reactions, this bad PR right here. So let's read it, shall we? And by the way, this will be linked below as well. Fake news. This was quickly debunked. That guy and others like him are in the views for money business. Didn't put money, put $. Cool. And not a single one of them has ever bothered to contact Atari or its PR team with a single question. Please don't give quote unquote research credit to people they put quotes. They didn't say quote unquote. That would be even more pretentious than what this has been thus far. Anyway, so please don't give quote unquote research credit to people like that. There are many reputable media outlets that actually deliver verified facts. Okay, so you would think Matt's going to get upset because he's a YouTuber and he's going to chime in and he's going to just defend YouTubers and he's not going to, say that Atari said anything correct there or even has a point there in any way. So here's the thing. Right? Look, when you say, oh, they're doing this for the money, look, money's involved in this. Not with me, because as you guys can tell, as of this recording, you guys are looking at how little views I have on this channel, how little subscribers I have. But I do this because guess what? Just like other YouTubers, even ones that are getting a lot of money, I do this because it's fun. Because it's fun to do this. It's fun to tell you guys the news, give you my little, not just rant about it, but also give my take on it and things like that. And also play games and do reviews. It's work. You guys might laugh at that, but it's true. It is work. Editing the footage is work. Putting that together is work. Filming is work. But it is fun. And that's okay for me, right? So why am I getting mad at them? Why am I getting mad at them? Well, here's the thing. So I don't know if you guys know this. Actually, you guys probably do know this. I saw some of you guys watched, if you guys are longtime fans, you guys might have seen my Matt Rants on YouTubers getting free products. Should they get free products is the question that I asked. So let's look at that for a second, shall we? I'm not going to cut to it, just talking about it briefly a little bit. YouTubers get free products. Why? Some of you guys out there that might be angry about it go, they get them because they suck. Well, hear me out here. They get them so that they can promote the product. Now, they could potentially shit on the product as well. So it is a gamble when you give a YouTuber a product, but still, you give a YouTuber a product hoping they're going to review it in some way, and if they review it in a good way, then hey, guess what? That might be 500,000 eyeballs on your product that might not have been there before. So yeah, you may have given out 100 free versions of your product, but you know what? You're not going to give one to me, you're not going to give one to other YouTubers, so other YouTubers are also going to come in and buy your product and try to promote the product, even if it's a negative promotion, even if it's negating, if it's like, oh, this product was shit, right? Still, there is a review aspect for it that, again, YouTubers getting it for free. Yes, I understand the criticism, but still, though, that's a good way of getting the product out. Do we really see Atari VCS commercials on television happening? Maybe at your local station, maybe one of those really crappy commercials on a on one of those cable access channels. But do we see Atari VCS commercials on TV? Do we see Atari VCS commercials that are gonna be like, and now at Walmart, and now at Target, and now at Sears? I don't know. But still, would you have those? I don't think so. That's also a lot of money. That's kind of why sometimes when we look at a movie budget, we're like, why is the budget so freaking big? Sometimes it includes the advertising, and it's not cheap to put something on top of, on the side of Times Square or something like that. So, on the side of a building in Times Square to be more particular. So, I'm just laughing because I'm really just looking at this again and again and again and seeing how badly they fucked up. So, you're getting YouTubers mad at you. Good job. Great job. Because here's the thing, guys. Atari just made this personal. Now, I don't know any of these people that they criticized. Technically, didn't even criticize me personally because I didn't make a video about this until right this second. But it's just the idea that it's like, guys, you're going to make this personal. Why? Why is this your response? First of all, fake news. I'm not trying to get political here, But why are you going to bring up something that has a phrase that has been politicized? Why are you trying to do that? Why is that your first response, you idiot? I don't know. That's the one thing I'll say. So I know I've said to make this personal. In this case, looking at the, if it's the same person working the PR for all three posts, because yes, there's more posts that we have to get to. If it's the same person working the PR, then yeah, I'm going to call them an idiot. I think that's perfectly okay. I don't want to make it personal in terms of, like, it's not just about the VCS, not about, oh no, the VCS isn't living up to my expectation. No, this person is an idiot because of the things that they are writing. So, because again, YouTubers are your bread and butter. You want them not just to promote your product potentially, but you also want them to give money to your campaign. That's what you want, Atari. I'm going to talk to you like you're a child, because looking at some of these posts, I really don't know if you're not. So, the last thing, though, before we move on to some more stuff here, the whole research credit thing, again, there are YouTubers out there that put a lot of research into what they do. There are some that don't. However, at the same time, when it comes to RGT85's video in particular, because it seemed like that was the one they were calling out, even though they called out some other people as well, still, could you say that RGT went a little bit hard, potentially, with the whole, oh, it's a scam, oh, it's fake, instead of some of the stuff that I said, oh, maybe it was a developer change, maybe it was this. Okay, you could say that. You could argue that. If that's what you wanted to argue, hey, we feel as if some of your facts, you may have been mistaken in some ways. Please contact us if you want to know more information. That could have been cool if they said that to him. But here's the thing, guys. When you're a company and you need people to buy your product, you're not going to be this level of asshole. And I'll explain to you why. Because when you look right here into the, where is it right here? Oh yeah, giving research credit. What does that even mean, right? Oh, you're trying to discredit him? Oh, he's just some YouTuber. Don't worry about him. Guess what, guys? The kids are watching YouTubers. That's what the youths are watching. Not many of them, not many people in general on my channel, but still, the youths are watching YouTube. So you want to promote this to them, not just the 50 to 80 to 105-year-olds. Sorry to people who really love Atari. I'm just mad. To you guys, to those guys who are into Atari, you not just them. It's not just them. Depending on the interface and who's trying to play this, a 70-year-old person who wants to play Atari games might not even know how to work this device. So you're going to want families to purchase this. You idiots. So, but you know what? Putting that aside, again, putting all the YouTube stuff aside, Matt, you're a YouTuber. You're biased. You just don't get it. Okay, you know what? Fine. Let's talk about two lines here that really got to me. And this actually makes me laugh harder than ever, I think. The first one is, so that guy and others like him are in the views for money business, and not a single one of them has ever contacted or bothered to contact Atari or its PR team with a single question. So even though YouTubers came out, I think like Rerez and Smash AT, and said, actually, we have tried, you haven't responded. Let's put that aside for now, because again, I don't want to talk about it from a YouTuber's perspective just for a second. Let's talk about it from a real person perspective. Let's say you caught or potentially caught your significant other cheating in the act, not in the bedroom, because that would be a bit open and shut, but you potentially caught them, you have some evidence, you want to confront them about it, and you do. And, or even if you don't, but you're like, but I have the text though. Like, it's, even though you trusted them, still, even if you didn't trust them, heck, you're like, I kind of have evidence here though. It's not like I'm going on nothing. I have evidence. And you kind of want to confront them. Imagine if they said to you, you should have confronted me, and I would have told you the truth. Oh, they cheated on me? No, because I did not. Well, then we're at fucking square one then. Like, I love it. Like, we're expecting Atari in this case to tell the truth if we have caught them lying. And I know that that's not true one-to-one in every single case. And of course, when it comes to significant others, you should trust them and potentially go to them. I'm not saying to ruin a relationship, ruin a marriage, anything like that over, something that might not be 100% confirmed. But in this case, people are reporting on news. It's not personal. And yet all of a sudden it's, well, you should have asked us first. Yes, because you have no intention to lie. There is no reason why you would lie. You potentially already lied already. But no reason why Atari would lie. That's absurd. Matt, absurd. Why are we even going on about this? I know. I don't even know why. It's just absurd that they would lie. And moving on to the last sentence that fucking kills me. And I mean, kills me. I was laughing about this. I would just have random parts of my day just thinking about that, and I would laugh. There are many reputable media outlets that actually deliver verified facts. Cue a laugh track. We don't have the money for that, but if we did, I'd cue a laugh track because it's fucking hilarious. I'm not even going to pick one side here. I'm not even trying to get political. Let's talk about CNN and Fox News for how. Let's talk about MSNBC. Let's talk about every other station in the U.S. that reports news. Guess what? They know who their advertisers are. As YouTubers, we actually don't. Maybe some higher YouTubers do, like PewDiePie, Markiplier, but we don't know who our advertisers are. We don't know, oh, is Coca-Cola coming after this? Oh, are Cheetos, Doritos? We don't know who's coming up after or even before the credits roll or anything like that. We don't know any of those roles. Heck, if for some reason this video gets flagged by, a company because of the game footage and they want to put ads on there, I don't know what ads they're putting on there. I have no idea. So, I can talk about any company I want to, and I have no idea whose ads might be tailored to this video. Although, funnily enough, if I say something like, F Coca-Cola or something, their ads might actually be tailored just by the word Coca-Cola being in the video, which would be really funny. But still, the point is that, if a news organization that's on television, I'm not trying to get into print media here because it's a bit different, and also not trying to get into websites that have articles because, again, they don't also, sometimes they don't choose what ads are playing. They just have like Google AdSense and things like that. So, but we're trying to talk about television here because that's the first thing I think of. Like, oh, reputable media sources, the legacy media. How funny is it that they know, talking about the CNNs, Fox Newses, and all those bigger networks there, they know what their ads are going to be. So if the CEO or if someone high up in Coca-Cola murdered a bunch of people, they're going to they might have to make it a story because it's a murder here, but they're going to potentially make it a very like a soft thing at the end, right before the commercial break or something like that, because they know, oh, right, Coca-Cola advertises on here. So it's hilarious that as a YouTuber, you're supposed to be breaking through, not having gatekeeping, being able to say what you want to say, what's on your mind. And I'm not saying that every YouTuber here has their, T's crossed and their I's dotted. I'm not trying to say that, and that's why I'm not trying to sit here with the full-on, all the YouTubers are right. I'm just saying that it is hilarious that apparently the YouTubers are the one that's wrong, but the legacy media, they're reputable. Bull fucking shit. I mean, bull fucking shit. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And again, before we move on, it's not as if YouTubers haven't been caught in scandals where they've been paid to do promotions, not reviews, straight up promotions, but pretended reviews, or just play a game and not disclose that they're playing this game because they were given money by a company. That's happened before. I don't remember the exact YouTubers, but you can look it up, or the exact networks, but you can YouTube networks, but you can look it up. It has happened. That's why I'm not saying that YouTubers are 100% in the right. It is just hilarious to act like commercials don't exist on television. But you know what? Hey, I've said my piece. Let's move on. And heck, you know what? Just branching off of what Atari just said, they really respect the media, the legacy media, print journalism. They respect that more than they respect YouTubers like myself and many others out there. You know what? Heck, maybe they're right. Maybe, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they should respect these people because when they put out articles that are anti-Atari, I guess Atari would go, wow, we understand where you're coming from. We're going to work to change. Maybe the bad PR and all that stuff was just a thing of, growing pains. And really it was because some YouTubers were being so, spreading so much vitriol, really, and being toxic, right? So I guess maybe RGT85, Smash JT, Review Tech USA, maybe they're the ones that are toxic. Or you guys already know what's coming because of the tone of my voice. So when I just can't even anymore. So when a journalist from The Register, which by the way, the articles will be linked below. So when journalist Kieran McCarthy, who is a 15-year veteran tech journalist, when he says, hey, this is shit, mate. He didn't say that directly. He did not say that in any way. He actually has a really nice article detailing what are the problems with the Atari VCS and with the person that he interviewed, the CEO of the company, which we'll get to him a little bit later too. So when he mentioned that the Atari VCS Facebook page. Literally, again, this is the official Atari fan page. Said, because someone commented with it saying, like a random person said, "Hey, what's this about?" Right, posting the article, and Atari VCS said, "We honestly can't explain that article either. Our executive sat with that reporter for half an hour, and he wrote what he wanted instead of what was discussed with him. Sadly, there are even irresponsible trolls in quote-unquote professional positions, I guess. We clearly said that we were bringing engineering design models to GDC, and lots of people clearly don't understand what that means. Hunks of plastic," I'll explain what that's referencing to in a second. "Well, yeah, that's how you finalize the designs and confirm that you can get the look and feel you want for the finished products." And it ended with sad. This stupid idiot. So, why am I really want to put him on the list. You just made the list, Atari VCS person. So, why am I so frustrated? Well, before that, the plastic thing was referring to the fact that the journalist actually said, "Hey, when you handed me a controller," right, or basically it's in the article, he was handed a controller that wasn't even finalized, the buttons didn't mesh, it was just a hunk of plastic. So, why is this a problem? Well, first of all, if you guys don't know at this point, I don't know what to tell you. The fact that they literally just said, Atari just said, "Hey, YouTubers, stop it. We respect the media. Media criticizes them. Actually, we do not. Sad." I just don't understand it. And here's the funny thing too, right? So the exact phrase, "We honestly can't explain that article either." I'm sorry, right when they said, where is it right here? Well, yeah, he made up what he wanted. He made up what he wanted, calling him a troll, saying that he made it up completely. So, I mean, is there evidence that this thing even ever, like this, this interview ever occurred? Maybe this guy, right? Maybe, let's see his name right here again. Just want to make sure I don't get it wrong. Maybe Kieran McCarthy doesn't even exist. Maybe he's just a YouTube personality. Maybe he's like Stephen Colbert's other half, Stephen Colbert. Just a complete fabrication. And he does not exist. Well, funny story. Kieran McCarthy actually recorded the entire interview as an audio file. So he recorded it. Now you might be thinking, well, that sneaky motherfucker. Kieran McCarthy, you should not be coming in here and just recording this guy without his consent, except that he asked the COO, Michael Arts, if he could record him. So he asked him, "Hey, by the way, can I record you?" Michael Arts said, "I assume, yeah, sure." And the entire interview went on with Michael Arts, again, bumblefucking around and just fumbling throughout the interview, which I'll, pick apart, and I'll even link below a little bit. I won't pick it apart too much because I don't want this rant to go on for too long, but it's already gone on for long enough, I would imagine, but still, to some of you. But anyway, I just cannot believe that he agreed to being recorded. Then, again, I say it also eloquently, bumblefucked his way through it. And then we have the official Atari VCS being like, well, this guy, McCarthy just clearly made this up. I don't know what to say. Some people have been saying, oh, I think it's the same guy. I think it's Arts just doing the whole, doing everything. I don't believe so. Because if it was the case, then I don't believe that he would be that stupid. And maybe I'm just giving him too much credit. I don't believe he would be that stupid to do that. Now, some of you might be wondering who Michael Arts is. I'll talk to you guys about him in a second. But still, some of you guys might be like me. He can't be that stupid. Maybe they have someone who's a super uber Atari fan, or someone who's 15, who just doesn't understand how to speak on the internet, actually doing the PR, because this isn't how a company does PR. This is how you maybe talk to someone that you feel has slighted you, but not from a company perspective, not when you want people to buy your product. Because, if some people are saying no, but you know what, their fans are going to love it, they're playing to that base, it doesn't matter, they're going to love that they're being strong about it. But here's the thing, though. If you're actually looking this up and you see them being strong, you can also see the arguments against why they're wrong. It doesn't matter how strong you are with it. You can't strong arm your way out of facts if the people that are reading your strong arming are actually able to see the legit facts right next to it and see how the things change over time, and see the fact that the interviewer literally is like, in this case McCarthy, the journalist, is like, hey, I have the audio. So I didn't make this up. This is all in the audio. Anyway, so who is Michael Arts? Well, Michael Arts is the COO of Atari Connected Devices. Now, apparently he has never worked on a video game in his life, and he's a marketing guy. Now, when it comes to the video game thing, personally, I don't think that's a huge issue. I know some of you guys are like, Matt, come on. I don't think it's a huge issue if they have the right people behind him. The problem is, however, it seems like they don't even have the right people yet, because they're the ones, or this guy is a bit dumber than I thought, because they should be telling him, okay, Michael Arts, here is where, here's where, if they ask you this, you respond with this. Go in with fucking note cards and cue cards and shit like that. The fact that he went as the guy, and they met in a hotel room, which I think is odd, but whatever. They met in a hotel room, McCarthy and Arts, and they discussed something that, again, he just bumbled his entire way through it. Didn't know what kind of, didn't know the idea. And by the way, I don't know this either, but again, I'm not making a video game console. The idea that at this point in development, you should know what chips you're using. You shouldn't say, yeah, we might be changing some chips soon and things like that. I might be switching over to this, switching over to that. He should know every little thing here and there. They should have at this point something that is a bit more final than just having hunks of plastic with nothing inside, even nothing that can click inside. Yes, that is a huge problem when you are promising a video game console. If you're promising a book, then yeah, you can talk about the concepts of the book, where it might be going, things like that. But, you might even show off, hey, this is a prototype, maybe how it might look. Oh, but there's no pages in here with translated English text. Well, yes, we know, but this is how the format would look. See, the cover's translated. Little things here and there. But again, when talking about a video game console, it's supposed to be coming out in July 2019, and we're already in July. So 1 year from now, we're supposed to be getting a brand new video game console with a company that, yes, they're getting $3 million, but that's not enough. That's not enough. But you know what? Again, you could say that's on me. That's my opinion. Still, what's not my opinion is that Arts completely messed up that interview. Then we apparently have a situation where we have the Atari VCS Facebook page saying, no, I didn't, nuh-uh. And to me, I just sit back and I'm like, okay, so as a marketing guy, because not me, him. He's apparently a marketing guy. He went to school for marketing. That's what he's supposed to be here doing. He also was the guy who was marketing and pushing out or not pushing, but at least talking up the Atari hat Bluetooth. It was like speakers in a hat. Oh, wow, so cool. So anyway, so he was promoting that product, and potentially he's the one that is doing some things that I would argue are a bit deceitful, but are still kind of working. I mean, some would say he's a great marketing guy. If he's the one who got them, got the Indiegogo nearly $3 million when the original was $100,000, maybe he's that good. I don't know. So here's one thing that I think he did right that I despise, but he still did right from a marketing perspective. He's writing, or if he's behind, I don't know. Again, I don't know if he's actually behind it in terms of typing it up, but at least he might be dictating to someone to write the word pre-order. Pre-order the Atari VCS. Now that is extremely smart, and some of you guys might not be wondering, or might be wondering why. Why is that relevant? Matt, it's just the word pre-order. Why is that a problem here? Because the console doesn't exist yet. There is no console. That's why there's crowdfunding for it. That would be like me saying pre-order my book, but Matt, you haven't written your book yet. Shut up, pre-order it. That's not an exact quote from the Atari VCS Facebook page, but I feel like it would be. But still, there is no product yet, so it can't be pre-ordered. Now you might think, Matt, but why is that a big deal? Because it gives you it's something that's subliminal. It's kind of, it goes in the back of your head, makes you think that, especially if you're not on the up and up with this, it makes you think, oh, this thing is already out. So or it can be already out. So when I pay $300 for it, I'm paying for a finished product. But you're not. You're paying for the concept. And for any of you that are like, Matt, please, you're just dogpiling on this. You're like every other YouTuber when, these things are essentially pre-orders. I raise you a mighty number 9. Now the crowd went silent. At that point, everyone was like, oh, God damn him. I raise you a mighty number 9. There are still people that haven't gotten certain things that they backed. Why? Well, I don't know about why with the mighty number 9 Kickstarter, but the idea is that it is a concept. You're not pre-ordering something. That's why it takes so long for a game to come out, to the point where your hype for it might actually be kind of dead, because it's not meant to be a pre-order. It's meant to come out eventually. Hopefully come out eventually. In this case, I don't know if this will come out. I'm not here to say whether or not it's going to come out. I'm just here to give you guys all the good Atari VCS news that has been fucking backing up. So, Michael Arts, marketing guy, good job with the whole pre-order thing. I hate it. I despise it. But from a marketing perspective, good job. However, bad job in actually answering questions. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they shouldn't be sending a marketing guy to do this. But I'm saying that if they are going to send him, if he's the guy they're going to send, not the CEO, they're going to send the COO to do this, then how about you tell him every single thing? Because that's the thing. If people are going to go, oh no, Matt, like, especially if Atari somehow responds to this and they say, actually, let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. We did tell him everything we needed to tell him. Then, oh God, you guys are fucked. If you think that interview was everything he needed to know and he got grilled that hard by a 15-year industry veteran who then you try to discredit, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. But you know what? Hey, as we're wrapping this up, you might be thinking, but Matt, they have nearly $3 million, and it doesn't seem like the amount has gone down. It's not like people have been pulling out. So, hey, Matt, you're wrong. People are going to buy this. People are in love with this, and you can't tell them not to be in love with this. Well, first of all, I'm not telling you not to be in love with this. I'm just trying to inform you. You can make a decision afterwards whether or not you still want to buy the potential not product. Regardless, that's okay. But here's the thing. The question does become, who is putting money into this? Now, some people would say, stupid people. I don't want to do that. I think that's kind of rude. I don't want to say that fans that are interested in Atari products are stupid for purchasing or for backing this. What might actually be happening might be one of two things. It might be investors coming in to try to make the product seem bigger than it could be. So maybe they got $1 million worth of their own money, or someone else putting in the money. And then the other money, the other million and some odd, came from people that were like, oh my God, it already made $1 million. That could be the case. Now, and some people would say that's fraud. So that's why that's a theory. I'm not accusing them of that. That is just a theory. Perhaps that is what's going on. What I think is actually going on is, I think there are people who hear that this is going to be a dumpster fire. And like many other things that have been bought in the past, been funded in the past, that seem like they're going to be a dumpster fire, there are some people that just love to watch the world burn. That's what they want to do with their money. They don't care. So there might be a decent amount of people that are like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see what happens. And also the third type of people, actually, I might have mentioned two earlier. Now we're adding a third. The third might actually be YouTubers. So I know that I said that they already shit on YouTubers, etc., but it might actually be some YouTubers that are like, all right, I kind of feel offended. However, even though, to be fair, they might have funded it before they called out YouTubers, they might be like, I feel offended. They called me out. That kind of sucks. But I could be promoting, not promoting as in getting money for it, but I could be reviewing the Atari VCS in July 2019, and that'll bring views to my channel. That might be what's going on. And at one point, I was thinking about doing it for that reason alone, but then when they hit me with all this bullshit, not me personally, but in general, I was like, oh, wait, actually, fuck you. But at first, I was thinking, I might be able to get the Atari VCS. It might not be too bad. Worst case scenario, I might try to resell it for the exact amount that I paid for, in case people want to buy it. I'm not a big fan of scalping, but I'm okay with reselling, so I would be like, maybe. But still, that completely went over my head, or I kind of got away from that the second I started seeing all this bad stuff come up. But before that, I was thinking maybe that's what's going on, because if it happened to me, it might be happening to hundreds of YouTubers out there that are like, not just that they could also be Atari fans, to be fair, but they're also people who are saying, hey, I could review the Atari VCS. Like one YouTuber in particular, I don't know if the immortal John Hancock is actually donating to this, but if he is, it would make sense. He's a huge fan of Atari, even though there are other ways to play these games that are going to be, apparently it's going to be 100 Atari games that are going to be loaded into this already. You can play those in many different ways, but still, immortal John Hancock loves Atari, played it as a kid. I think he played the 2600 as a kid, might be fun for him to review for his channel. So it could be YouTubers like him and like myself, potentially, who really were thinking, maybe I want to donate to this. Now, I don't know if he has. If you want to ask him, you can hit him up. Either way, though, I just am thinking maybe that's why they've gotten so far, right? It could be a combination of these different things, or one of these things. But I don't know if everyone who's purchasing this is someone who is sitting there going, I believe this is going to, exist. And I just want this for my living room. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not someone who wants to do a review of this on a website. I'm just someone who really loves Atari and who got, in my opinion, tricked only by the pre-order words. If you want to say everything else is subjective, okay. But the pre-order thing, that personally, that's the trick, in my opinion, where I think some people who might be over a certain age, who don't really use the internet much, who just get Atari VCS ads like I was getting on my Facebook, my personal Facebook, they might have clicked on it, might have thought, wow, I can get the same Atari games that I used to get. Maybe, but I don't know how many of them there are, because again, the thought is, do many of them use the computer? And I'm not trying to be a dick here, I'm being dead serious. Do many of them use the computer in the way that many of us do? Or a YouTuber like the Immortal John Hancock or others do as well? I don't know, and frankly, as we're wrapping this up, that's just my thoughts on it, right? My thoughts are, yes, this thing is clearly doing quote unquote well, but who's behind it? Like, I want to talk to the people who've backed this, the hundreds or so of backers who've backed this, and ask, hey, why are you backing this? And I think that would be a very interesting thing to do in the future as well. But anyway, that was a very long rant. I wanted this one to be shorter than some of the other ones I've been doing recently, but there was a lot of backed up information. Well, either way, is this thing going to be a failure? Well, I don't know. And that's kind of why the topic of this video wasn't going to be, is this going to be a failure? Because really, I don't know. All I can tell you is that based on everything that's happened thus far, Atari is really #bumblefucked and is #bumblefucking their way through all of this. So, but again, does it mean that it's not going to be a good product, or it's not going to be a functional product? I don't know. I really don't. Will it be able to play Tempest 4000? Again, it might. It might actually do everything they say that it's going to do. The problem is that, in my opinion, they've truly ruined potentially their goodwill or a potential reputation that Atari has built, or really any company should build, with both its fans, with potential fans, with future fans. I mean, the fans that are alive right now that, enjoyed Atari when they were kids, sadly, they're not always going to be alive. And before some of you guys are like, Matt, geez, you're going to end it on this? No, I'm just saying that none of us are going to live forever. And it's a sad thing, but it's the truth. So you need to sit back as a company and think, how are we going to get the new fans in? And, Michael Arts said, we're going to get them in with the hats and, the hipsters in Williamsburg, because actually, funnily enough, Atari headquarters is in New York. So, like I am. So he was saying how, we're going to get the hipsters in with the hats and all this stuff. Maybe with the merch, but again, eventually, what is the merch going to represent? It's not like this is Supreme or some company that's going to, it's selling premium merchandise, for hundreds of dollars and tries to get in people that way. They're a gaming company. Atari's a gaming company as well. How are you going to try and get in new fans when you're sitting here shitting on YouTube? But anyway, guys, I want to hear your thoughts below. Maybe you think that they have ruined their goodwill, potential reputation. I know they've been bought out, but still, maybe they've ruined Atari's previous goodwill and reputation. Maybe you think that I and other YouTubers are just dogpiling and that we're all wrong, and you want to talk to me about it below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I want to argue with you civilly, have a civil discussion, not even consider it an argument, because I'm not attacking you personally. I don't even think it's an attack at Atari, because again, they're a larger company. Like, them criticizing all these YouTubers, they were really punching down than kind of punching. That's kind of why when companies attack other companies, like Wendy's on social media attacking McDonald's, or having Sega have fun with Mighty Number 9, those are companies on similar levels, a bit different than Atari attacking YouTuber. But again, maybe you think I'm even wrong on that as well. Maybe you think everybody should be punching everybody, not physically, verbally. Again, talk to me about it below. I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this, and I want to hear if you donated, if you backed this project. Please talk to me. I really want to hear what your thoughts are, why you think this is the best, or why you thought this was the best. Maybe you've changed your mind. I don't know. I really do want to hear from you guys, though. This isn't just me doing the whole YouTuber thing at the end where I'm like, oh, hey, hopefully you like and subscribe. No, I always want to hear from you guys, but I really do want to hear from you guys here as well, not just doing it just to say it. I really do want to hear your opinions on this, because this is a really divisive topic, although it seems like some people recently changed their mind with Kieran McCarthy and that whole situation. But still, there might still be some people that are on the fence or that are really pro Atari VCS. And again, just want to hear what you guys have to say. So, love you all so much. Thank you all so much for listening. Kind of a long rant, but still got it all off my chest. Please remember to like and subscribe if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, you know, as always, you can still like and subscribe either way. But please share this with your friends. If you want to post this on Atari VCS's Facebook page, I would love to hear their reaction. No, please don't troll them with this. If you guys want to actually post it, you can, but please don't troll people. I really don't want you guys to do that. Anyway, thank you so much. Love you all. Take care, and tune in next time for another episode of Matt Rants. We'll be actually talking about a Kickstarter next time, and it'll be one that I backed myself. So, it might be some negative news. It might not be. Really depends on, where you are in the world. All right, that's my, what? What is he talking about? Well, tune in next time to find out. All right, guys. So, see ya.